Dear students, good morning to one and all. As you know, I have already explained the concept of translation, the significance of translation, and also the role of translator. Now I am going to explain the types of translation. As far as the types of translation is concerned, there are many theories, translators. They have given different types of translations they have mentioned. According to traditional translation theories, there are two types of translation: literary translation and non-literary translation. So broadly speaking, there are two types of translation. First one, literary translation, which means literary translation is the translation of literature such as poetry, drama, novel, essay, and short story. Here, the translators were concerned with both sense and style. So, literary translation is all about the translation of literary texts. It might be a poem, a drama, or a novel, or an essay, or even a short story. Suppose a translator who is going to translate a literary text from one language to another language. For example, a Kannada language, which is a translator who is going to translate it into English. So it will be a literary translation. For example, as you know, Rabindranath Tagore, he had translated his own work, Gitanjali, into which was originally written in Bengali language, and later on it was translated into English language. So, which is an example for the literary translation. So, this is here translators they mainly focused on sense and style, the meaning, and as well as the style of writing. And then non-literary translation, which means non-literary translation means the translation of all the texts except literary texts. Here, the translators were concerned with sense. They mainly focus, they mainly focused on meaning rather than the style of writing. And here, non-literary translation is all about the text except literary text, as I mentioned earlier, poetry, drama, novel, essay, or short story. Apart from these literary texts, whatever the text a translator translates, which will be non-literary translation. For example, scientific works and history, sociology, all other streams, other different fields, the books related to those political science and other economics and all those things, except literary texts, those that translation which is called as non-literary translation. Then, according to John Dryden, as you know, he was a representative writer of the 17th century poet, dramatist, as well as a critic. He says that there are three basic types of translation according to him. They are metaphrase, paraphrase, and imitation. Metaphrase, which is a literal translation or word for word translation. Then paraphrase, which is sense for sense translation, meaning is focused here. Then imitation, which is constructing new poem or prose on the basis of old or original, so which is imitation. So among these three types of translation, John Dryden prefers paraphrase. So paraphrase, which is sense for sense translation. He mainly prefers this translation. Then, according to J.C. Catford's classification of translation. J.C. Catford was a Scottish linguist. According to him, there are four types of translation. They are full translation, partial translation, total translation, and restricted translation. Full translation means, in full translation, every part of the SL text is replaced by the material in the TL text. So here, SL text, whatever the text which is taken by the translator, here translator tries to translate every part of the SL text by equivalent material in the TL text. SL text, source language text. TL text means target language text. He tries to translate every part of the SL text into TL text. Then partial translation. In partial translation, some part or parts of the SL text are left untranslated. They are simply transferred, or which we can call it as transliteration, to the TL text. They are regarded as untranslatable, or for the deliberate purpose of introducing local color into the TL text. So which is all about partial translation. In this partial translation, some part of the SL text which is left as untranslated, which we call as untranslatable. There are certain things which are certain words like culture based words which are difficult to translate. In such instance, a translator which he just put it in as it is, like transliteration, that is we call just changing the spellings of the words into TL text. And also even translators sometimes deliberate purpose for introducing local color into the TL text, he deliberately put same word into TL text, which is called as partial translation. Then third one, total translation. Total translation is the replacement of SL grammar and lexis by equivalent TL grammar and lexis, with consequential replacement of SL phonology or graphology by TL phonology or graphology. So this is the total translation. Here the translator, he tries to translate every part, even grammatical elements, lexical elements, and phonological elements, graphological elements. All those things he tries to translate here, which is called as total translation. Then fourth one, restricted translation. SL text material is replaced by equivalent TL textual material at one level only. So in this restricted translator, he translates only grammatical elements or lexical elements or phonological or graphological elements. So SL textual material which is replaced by equivalent TL textual material at only one level, grammatical level or lexical level, graphological level or phonological level. So this is all about restricted translation according to JC-CAT 4. So in this video I have explained that the types of translation. So I will explain it further in the next video. Thank you.